There's Chris Forsberg.
You can see Forsberg just goes wide, and Osbo takes advantage of it. I mean, that's just, I would have to say that's as clean as it comes.
That was
You don't see that often, if ever. And we had it from a good angle right there. Great job right there by Frederick Osbo. We talked about this a lot in the drivers' meeting, and then Forsberg giving it back to him. I mean, just an absolutely unbelievable turn of events right here. Let's watch it again from another angle. Forsberg goes wide. Osbo stays on the inside. That looks pretty clean to me.
Drifting, we're not looking for the pass. We want to see that mirror. But when that window of opportunity is open, you jump through it. Here we go. Frederick Osbo's going to lead. Chris Forsberg's going to give chase. As Forsberg, he knows he needs to apply the pressure. And there he is doing just that. Forsberg standing on it, transitioning through out of the keyhole. This could be Osbo's run at the podium. Great job out front by Frederick Osbo. Come on, Atlanta, make some noise. You're seeing some top-notch drifting around the world. Our Norwegian and American going battling a Scion 4-cylinder turbo against a NOS-fueled VK56.
Well, here we go, the replay. Remember what transpired on the first run. We had Frederick Osbo with that pass. We'll go back and look at that one more time. You can see right here a great lead run by Frederick Osbo. Goes very deep right here. Nice job. Let's see if you get a little bit wider, but deep enough. Forsberg is right on him. Transitioning back around, going down the hill. Osbo on an inside line right there. A little bit of a gap taking place at the edge, or the end of the track rather, for Frederick Osbo and Chris Forsberg.
Frederick Osbo, Chris Forsberg, the verdict's in. Andy Yen, Ryan Lontaine, and Brian Egger. Frederick Osbo gets the win. He is in the finals. Well, here is the other half of the Final Four. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Robbie Nishida. Shout out to Rich K Tech, Tam Surratt, man, Adverse Global, Motion Auto TV. Who else do we have out there? Epic Drifts. Just giving everybody a shout out before we end. Remember, hashtag FDATL, Jared Dion, J Everett 24, Adrian Martin W. Ball and Colin, here we go. This is Vaughn Gittin Jr., Robbie Nishida. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Monster Energy, Middle Time Mustang RTR, Nishida. Good transition. Now, Ryan, this is critical for Forsberg as well if he's going to podium. And Vaughn Gittin Jr., if you can recall, he got third place here last year. Vaughn going through the paces very nicely. Nishida, now look at that, a gap created. Vaughn chucks a deuce and chucks it hard in that last turn.
Well, this is interesting because this is where qualifying comes into play. Because Vaughn qualified so high in number 3, he's basically guaranteed himself third place even if he loses here. He was qualified number 3, but let's take a look at this on the replay right here as Vaughn comes in. Nice job on that inside clip, transitioning back around. Robbie Nishida trying to close the door right here, staying as close as he can on the line that Vaughn has. Slightly a little bit more shallow right there as Vaughn comes into the second inside clip. Now coming downhill, Vaughn trying to get some separation here as Robbie Nishida trying to tow up the rear end. We can see just falling off just a little bit right there. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. is sitting pretty because he qualified so high. He knows in his head, no matter what, he's going to have third place at minimum, even if he loses. Otherwise, he's going to be fighting for a podium spot.
Yeah, I mean, so the scenario is Osbo's in the finals. So Osbo's in the finals. He's going against the winner. So if Vaughn Gittin loses, he gets third place. If Vaughn Gittin Jr. wins, Chris Forsberg gets third place.
That's right.
So, you know, he's kind of fighting for his Forsbro there. The Drift Alliance, Mr. Lettuce Man, right? Right there, Crop Dustin. So this is interesting. Osbo.
Gittin is potentially helping Forsberg if he wins.
And Osbo, has he received a first place yet? He has not. No. Outside, only in UAE at Yas Marina Circuit. Here we go. Robbie Nishida initiating into the first corner. Look at the front left wheel of Vaughn Gittin Jr. lip. That's how hard this man is going into the paint. Vaughn Gittin Jr. into the horseshoe, applying the pressure, downshifting. You can hear him standing on it. Well executed by Vaughn Gittin Jr. Robbie Nishida going back and forth. Woo! Oh! Whoa, doctor! Wow. That could have got ugly real quick. Wow, unbelievable run. Atlanta, Driftstream, you having fun yet or what?
Well, here we go. Let's take a look at this on the Nitto replay right here. Robbie Nishida, nice initiation right there. Let's take a look. Goes a little bit past that inside clip. Almost shoots off course. Vaughn Gittin Jr. Opens up on the inside right here, trying to close proximity. Robbie Nishida shooting out wide towards that outer zone. Just missing it just a little bit. Nice job on that inside clip. Vaughn Gittin Jr. taking advantage of Robbie Nishida going a little bit wide. Then coming downhill. Vaughn really starting to close the door here. Quick transition back across the way and almost some contact. Robbie Nishida just looks like he maybe lost drift just a little bit there before the finish line. If we could take a look at.
So here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. says Andy Yen. Here we go. Ramifications for Chris. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. It's Osbo and Gittin in the finals. That means Chris Forsberg gets third place.
This is it. Vaughn Gittin Jr. versus Frederick Osbo. Frederick Osbo looking for his first podium in Formula Drift history, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. looking to come back from a disappointing finish in Long Beach and jump back in that chase.
Are you ready to send it? Here we go. The GoPro Finals. Vaughn Gittin Jr. out front. Frederick Osbo. No opportunity to pass there for Osbo as he now swings wide. Vaughn Gittin Jr. catapulting up into the keyhole. Solid job by Vaughn Gittin Jr. And there he is, clutch kicking around into that front clip. Back down the hill, we have the V8 versus the 4-cylinder turbo. Vaughn Gittin Jr. takes it back up. Crazy degree of angle as he passes that finish line. Vaughn Gittin Jr. from start to finish was out. He was breaking away like California Chrome there in that Kentucky Derby, man, just out. Ryan, let's take a look at this replay with Vaughn out front.
Well, here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. solid on initiation, right between the second and third cone. Frederick Osbo a little overextended there, gets back on it, but gives Vaughn Gittin Jr. an opportunity to pull away. 2 to 3 car lengths right there, and you can see Vaughn goes very wide into that outer zone. Great job right there. Frederick Osbo, you like to see him get closer about here, try to make a push for it, close the door, but he's got a lot of room right there. He's giving Vaughn Gittin Jr. a pretty sizable advantage going into his chase run. And we all know that Vaughn Gittin Jr. is an incredible chase driver.
We are about to find out who gets first place at the 11th time visiting Road Atlanta. Formula Drift and still sideways. Frederick Osbo, Papadakis Racing, Hankook Tires, Motegi Racing, 4-cylinder turbo Scion TC. Against the Monster Energy, Nitto Tire, Mustang RTR on Nitto Tires. Vaughn Gittin Jr. send it! Here we go. Frederick Osbo initiating into that first front clip. And look at that, a gap by Vaughn Gittin Jr. A huge gap. Can he make it up? As Osbo now pulling away from Vaughn Gittin Jr. Now catching up is Vaughn, and put an exclamation point on it. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Frederick Osbo. What? Can't hear you! Can't hear you!
Well, here we go. Let's check this out. Remember, Vaughn Gittin Jr. had a pretty good lead run, but look at this. He gives some back, but did he give some back and then some? That is the question. That was a pretty big distance right there that he gave Frederick Osbo on that mistake on initiation. Will it cost him, or is it too close to call? I'd like to see that one more time if we can.
What do you mean, the whole battle? You want to say it one more time? We have the verdict! One more time! They're going one more time! Chris Forsberg and his Hankook Tires, NOS Energy 370Z. Grab third. Who's getting first and second? Here we go. Send it! Vaughn Gittin Jr. taking the lead position. Frederick Osbo giving chase. Vaughn Gittin Jr. closing the door. A gap created as Osbo needs to lure him in. Vaughn riding that line. Nice job, looking a lot more poised than previously this evening. Osbo firing off as Gittin blips the throttle and rips back up the hill. A straightforward battle between these two gentlemen. A gap was consistent throughout. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, for Gittin's side, you know, he did his part. That's not to say that Frederick Osbo was not too shabby, but you can see right here, there's definitely a difference in the distance between Frederick Osbo and Vaughn Gittin Jr. more than you'd like. if you're on the team of Frederick Osbo. He stays with this line. Vaughn Gittin Jr. trying to go deep right here in that zone. He does, so does Frederick Osbo. Does tighten it up right here. Gets a little bit close to Vaughn, and then as we come back down, Vaughn starts to extend out again. Frederick Osbo comes back into the picture. You can see a wide line right there, and then coming up on that last inside clip was Vaughn Gittin Jr. So Frederick Osbo staying with Vaughn, but definitely not applying the pressure.
We're about to see how this transpires. This is Frederick Osbo, Vaughn Gittin Jr. for the finals. Who's going to get first place? Frederick Osbo. Vaughn Gittin Jr. drops into formation. Nice job by Osbo. Vaughn Gittin Jr. closer in proximity to that of Osbo when he is chasing. Oh, Vaughn coming in hot. Vaughn's coming in really hot, but tempers the flame. He backs down just a bit and now throws it around. Osbo, great smoke, good angle, but is that enough, Ryan? Is that enough? A little out of breath there.
Here we go. Frederick Osbo in the lead. Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the chase on initiation right here. Frederick Osbo starting off good. Vaughn Gittin Jr. This is where he made the mistake last time. He does not make a mistake this time. Charges up the hill as Frederick Osbo. Vaughn Gittin Jr. in tow. So close right here. Almost makes a mistake. Frederick Osbo leaves that outer zone just a little bit early. Vaughn Gittin Jr. trying to adjust, coming back down the hill. So we see no major mistakes from Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the chase. And no mistakes from Frederick Osbo in the lead. So we're talking about that first run really, and was that